Hey guys, I haven't done a video in a couple of days, so I figured I'd do one. Um, my fish are getting huge, which makes me very happy. I did have an issue with both of my adult snails, both my gold Inca and my black mystery snail. They both died, and I'm not exactly sure why, because every single baby, plus the new snail I got, is still alive, and they're doing fine. The new snail I got, you guys haven't seen. He's right. Oh, geez, the water spots are awful. He's a blue mystery snail, and he's really cool. I picked him up at a really cool place in O'Fallon. Um, it's somewhere by Illinois. Anyway, it's a reptile shop, and they have a lot of really cool animals. Um, I also lost a grass lizard and a granoli. I still have Ember, which is surprising because he's almost 5, so he's getting up there in age. But what happened is my husband was really sick for about a week and a half, and we ran out of food like before he got sick, and we had plans to go in the next few days to go get food while he got really sick, and I wasn't able to go. Um, we both felt awful when I found out that the two had died, and it was the two smaller of each species. So that was really sad. But the other two are doing fine. The basilisk is doing fine. All the fish are doing fine. My crawfish, he's doing awesome. I've seen him poking around actually now. Before you wouldn't see him. Um, but yeah, so we won't be doing that again. I have somebody now that if I can't go get food when I need to, then they will go get it for me. Um, so hopefully no more fatalities like that are my fault. Felt really awful about that. Um, but yeah, everybody else is doing awesome. I just did a filter change, and I had to add some peat moss to the water because it was totally alkaline. There was no acidity in it. And I kind of thought maybe that had something to do with why the snails died, but I looked into it more, and I haven't seen anything about alkalinity or acidity bothering snails to the extent of death. So, yeah, it's kind of a mystery as to why they died. They could have been at the end of their lifespan. I always make the mistake, I forget, and I buy the biggest out of all the snails in the tank at the pet shops, and I forget that they only live about 2 years, and so that I'm thinking that's what happened, but they died around the same time, so I don't know what happened. And like I said, all their babies are fine, and the new snail I got, he's totally chill. He's awesome. Um, so I'm not really sure. So I did a filter cleaning. I don't change the filter. It's actually a turtle filter. And it's for 20 gallons. I believe this is only about 15 gallons. This is a 40-gallon tank. Um, so I'm just using that, and it's kind of quiet, and I can put it down in the water. Like, it doesn't clip on the side, it goes down. It's actually in the water, which is why I'm using it, because it works really good, and I can have it at whatever water level I want. Um, and it's just got 2 sponges and a small carbon slot. And so I'll actually take the carbon out, rinse it out in dechlorinated water, and then just put it back because there's all that good bacteria and stuff in it. And then I also squeeze out the sponges, get all the crud out of the sponges, and then soak them in dechlorinated water before I put it back in here. So there's no worry of any chemicals. The tiny baby. Okay, sorry. So everybody has food now. Everybody's doing good. And it was weird because they weren't even thin. The lizards, they weren't even skinny. So I'm not exactly sure why they died. The one grass lizard was not acting like a grass lizard, like from day one. The one that I have that survived in here, he runs around all the time. He'll stick his head in the water, drink his water, he'll run all over the place, he'll even sit on the back of the basilisk and sun himself. And again, with my green anole, he moves all over the place. So I'm wondering if maybe that grass lizard didn't have something wrong internally with him already. I don't know. I wish I did know. But anyway, so the real reason for this video is this. This is my crested gecko tank. It is a 40-gallon breeder tank. And what I have done is there was an existing background, but this background was fitted to fit this side of the glass and not the bottom. So when I moved my tank and I had to move the background too, or else you couldn't see into the tank, then the background didn't actually fit. So it was too small. What I've done is I've gotten some more Great Stuff foam that I've added. I've made a couple little ledges. This is actually a Pringles can, and I'm debating on whether or not the original plan is once this dries and I can carve it and everything, was to cut a hole into the Pringles can and use it as a hide for the geckos. I'm not sure I'm still going to do that, because there are so many hidey holes already, and that can's pretty big, and you don't want them to get in there and not be able to get out. So we'll see. This is a ledge here. Eventually, after this stuff dries and it settles good, I'm going to flip the tank onto the other side, so this side here, and I'm going to do another one of those. And there's actually, sorry about the really dirty glass, there's a cup right there, and I'm thinking that's where their food's going to go instead of hanging it on the door. But yeah, so this is going to be really cool. I'm thinking about putting rock in the bottom of the tank, just some fish gravel, and then putting the mesh over it and then the dirt on top of that, so I can keep the dirt nice and moist like I can in Candy's tank. But the only problem is this side of the tank is not waterproof. I do have this board, this piece of, it's actually old wood blinds, and that's what I've been using to keep the dirt in, and you have to squeeze it down in there, so I'm kind of hoping I can just put this back in there, and since it's so snug up against the glass that it's not going to leak. But I don't know. We'll have to test that. But anyway, if I can get that done, that'd be awesome. So this is a work in progress. I'll probably do another video tomorrow on this once I get all the foam in there and get it dry and all that good stuff. So since my geckos can't be in their tank right now, they're in this extra turtle tank. Who is this? It's Penny. Oh, it's really dark. That's Penny. You can kind of see Mocha's head right there. And then Sarge is down under the leaves. Yes, hello. So this is the dirt out of their tank. That's going to go back in there. And yeah, so it's a work in progress. I'm hoping this will work a lot better than what I had, because they were getting behind the background, which I didn't like. And I need to get a lot more foliage for their enclosure. But anyway, so that is the update on my community tank. And the sad tragedies that happened there. And then my crested gecko community tank as well. The only thing that's in there, though, is the geckos. I am planning on getting isopods. I even have a itty bitty culture set up, because the type I want to get is Dalmatian isopods, and you can only buy 5 at a time. I'm sure you can buy more than, more than just the 5, like get 2 stacks of 5 or whatever, but they're $25 a piece. So I'm just going to get the 5 and then culture them for a little bit before I put them in the tanks. Um, so that'll be fun. There's a lot of really cool fry in here, and I don't know if it's just because they've been breeding, free will. Um, I don't know who the dad is, and I don't know who the mom is because I have more than one male in here, unfortunately. I wanted just my Blue Mickey Dalmatian male, but I ended up with another male. There's some fry in here. They have vertical stripes going down their body, and I'm hoping that they make it. I haven't really noticed any of them not making it, especially since I moved into this big tank and there's so much hiding spots. But there's always a chance that something's going to happen and you're going to lose a few. But there's a small clutch of fry in here that have those really cool stripes. So I'm hoping it's not just a juvenile thing, which one of my friends brought up when I was talking to him about my fish. He also has fish, and that they keep those really cool stripes, because that'd be awesome. Alrighty, I will talk to you guys next time.